What is up, gamers? Oh man, have I got a treat for you today. Oh, usually when you see me, it's me having a mental breakdown. This video is absolutely no different. It's a real good time that you're about to witness. I have always found a particular joy in different kinds of mediums of art. I got my embroidery thread stuff. I got my paper mosaics. I do love a good paper mosaic. Those are pretty fun. But something else I've always loved is yarn. I do a lot of yarn work. I love yarn. I knit a lot of hats. I've knitted a blanket. I'm knitting another blanket right now. But how else could you use yarn? Really, seriously, how else can you use yarn? How can you use yarn as a medium to make something even dumber? Today I present to you yarn painting. This is not a new concept. I definitely looked around on YouTube for a little bit and found some stuff. But there's not a ton of people making yarn art the way that I kind of think about yarn art. And as I've learned, that is because you should not do this. Just never in a million years, just promise yourself that you do not do what I have done on this day. Not just on this day, this took many hours, and I'll tell you about that later. This project, I recreate The Scream by Edvard Munch out of yarn. You know the painting, The Scream. You know it. There's like a couple of different variations. I used this one. I'm recreating that with yarn and glue. What possessed me to do this? I don't really know. I just had the idea in my head maybe a year ago that the next yarn painting I did would be The Scream, but this project was an experience. Now, first of all, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Edvard Munch because I looked it up. He's from Norway. He's Norwegian. I'm pretty sure that the Norwegian pronunciation that I looked up is Edvard Munch. So, if you're Norwegian, I am so sorry if that is incorrect. I'm Norwegian. No, I'm Norwegian. It's okay. It's only a quarter. It's not a... Man, why did I have to be a dumb American? Why I have forsaken my ancestors. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Edvard Munch. Some people say Edvard. I don't really know. I did my best. Anyway, I started this project by cutting out a piece of cardboard. I did the size of the cardboard as much to scale as I could. It's definitely not the original size of the painting because the original size of the painting, one of the edges is like 34 inches. I was not about to do that. Oh man, I cannot imagine how much longer that would have taken to make. But anyway, I did not do 34 inches. I instead did something that would fit on the screen for the amount of, space that I have. So, it's a lot smaller, but it is to scale. So, I have enough human decency to do that, So I started by tracing the whole thing, and then I began the long process. I think the yarn on the side is the thing that I regret the most because you'll learn that I figure out very quickly how to not only, separate the yarn, but also to use the small pieces of yarn to my advantage. I just straight up glue the entire strand of yarn to the side of the painting, which I don't do for the rest of it. I completely break down the yarn for the rest of the painting. And then I moved on to the rest of it. I give you a little bit of footage to demonstrate how exactly I go about gluing down all of the yarn. The rest of the video is just one long sped up bit of footage. But yeah, I made it. It's done. You haven't seen the end of it, but it is done. I did that, and it was painful. Had a lot of, mental crises. I took 2 breaks, I think, when working on this video. I took 1 break to make the paper mache. I keep wanting to say paper mache. Paper mosaic hand, and then the other one, I did like a really bad scrapbooking project that, I'm not going to be making a video out of, but it was fun. So, who's really the loser? Still me. It's still me. It always has been. It always will be with these. You are going to notice that there are a couple of discrepancies scale-wise on the painting. You'll also notice that the tracing that I do beforehand is not accurate. I actually start to go against what I traced down pretty fast. I definitely do not remain true to that sketch, so if the sketch scares you, don't worry. I fix it. It's all okay. But anyway, I think the sunset. Who's screaming? Who's screaming? I think the sunset is definitely one of the most difficult parts of the project because it was so many colors and I had to blend them together just right, and oh man, it looks better on screen. In real life it looks kind of chunky and weird, so you know what, I will accept the bad camera lighting for the sake of the fact that on camera it looks better. You might still be asking yourself though, what possessed me to make this? I don't really know. I don't know if it's the fact that I have a lot of spare time on my hands right now, or just the fact that I'm just drifting further and further into just a complete state of masochism at this point. What normal person decides to do something this horrible? It seems tame. It seems tame. I think anybody could do this, but nobody is going to waste the time to make it happen, you know? Nobody is going to allocate that much time to something this stupid. Other people, they actually have, you know, hobbies. They have hobbies. I have hobbies. Besides this, you know, I do knit stuff. I haven't read a book in so long. How long has it been since I've actually read a book? Wow, it's been a long time since I've actually read a book. What else do I do with my time? Alright, I've come to the conclusion that I do nothing with my time and therefore need to get a hobby. That's really cool. That's pretty fantastic, you know? I mean, as long as it's not athletics, I'm so bad at sports. Anyway, back to the situation at hand. Speaking of hands, you'll notice that the nail polish on my hand is starting to slowly chip away, and that's because I started to get into the final home stretch of this project, and I am so sick and tired of it. I've dumped hours into this project. I've probably been at this yarn painting for about a month and a half, I think. I think it took me about a month and a half to just muster up enough mental capacity to finish it off. Like, it took me way longer because I just could not get myself together. I'm at this point and my nail polish is slowly chipping away, which is it's important to this story. It may not, it sounds like a stupid detail, but it is important. In the final week of this project, I had come to the realization that I had a chipped nail. If you look at my right thumbnail, you'll notice that there's a little bit of a mark in it close to the tip of my finger. My nail had broken down to the base, not the base where the nail bed starts to like grow out from, you know, like basically I was going to have a short nail very, very soon, and I was not looking forward to it. So I told myself that, hey, you are not allowed to cut that off. You're not allowed to fix your nails. You're not allowed to fix your nail polish. You're not allowed to touch it up until you finish this doggone yarn painting. And so I responded to myself saying, oh, okay, I can do that. And I thought I was going to finish it by the end of the week. No. No, it took me a whole other week after that to finish it up. By the final day, my nail was basically almost falling off, and it was not fun. I don't know if you've ever had a long nail just get absolutely broken off. It is heartbreaking. It is absolutely heartbreaking, and it is not fun at all. It's like suffering a loss. That's a bit insensitive. If you've never had long nails, let me explain. Having long nails is like having an extension of your fingers. It is like having an extra bone in the phalanges of your fingers. When you lose a nail that long, the senses in your fingers, your ability to grab stuff, your ability to use your fingers gets impaired. And I kid you not, you know what, I finished the painting, so, you know, my nail is gone on my thumb now. I can't type properly anymore. Like, on my phone, I can't text people properly. I make so many typos because I'm so used to the way that my nail is that, I miss every single button, so I have to stare at my thumb as I type, which just slows down the process so much because I was used to the way that my thumb was already resting on the buttons on my phone, that now I can't type anything correctly. It's awful. It's very, very frustrating, and it's very, very infuriating. But hey, you know what? I'm surviving somehow. It's so short. It's awful. The other thing is that I have pretty small hands, and so having long nails makes my fingers longer, And oh my gosh, my thumb looks so small. It's so stubby. It's so little. I hate it. I hate it so much. I want my long nails back. The thing is that I didn't cut any of the other ones that short because I want people to know that I have suffered a great loss on my nails. And I want them to know that I did not choose that short nail. That short nail chose me. And I'm not gonna let it live that down. And the thing is that my nails are also pretty strong again. They were weak for a little bit there, but now they've gained back their supernatural strength. I have jammed my nails several times this past week, and they haven't broken yet, which is really, really strange because I was so used to them breaking that now I'm back into them being strong again, and it's just like, it's such a relief, you know? I'm very grateful for my nails. But I am so heartbroken over this one being so short. I'm honestly impressed that I didn't actually cut it off before I promised myself I would. Because, I mean, my nails mean a lot to me. You know, they're always painted a different color. It's always a good time, except for when I need to let them breathe for a little bit. My nails mean a lot to me. And I was heartbroken that I had to cut this one off, but you know what? If it motivated me to finish the project, it motivated me to finish the project. And guess what? It motivated me to finish the project. And finish it I did. So at the end of the day, it worked. You know, I'm honestly kind of impressed that I managed to convince my brain to actually go through with that. Because usually when I give myself restrictions like that, I'm not very good at following them. I think it was just because I was so desperate to find a reason to finish the yarn painting that I just stuck with that and was like, alright, we're gonna use this as the reason to get this done. And I just went with it because there was nothing else I could do besides go with that. But I finished the painting. And honestly, it doesn't look that bad. I think one of the most difficult parts was, well, of course, the sunset. The sunset was the worst part. The other part was the face. The face looked pretty bad for a second. And then I had to figure out how to do the eyes. Oh man, the eyes were really rough. You know, I didn't do measuring when I traced it or whenever I, you know, kind of had to fix things and make it look correct. I didn't do any measuring along with the original painting, so things are going to be in different places on the painting. The coloring isn't going to completely match or anything like that, so I did my best with the bag of yarn that I had. And you know what? It looks okay. It looks like Edvard Munch's The Scream, so I'll take it. I'll take it. It was such a pain, but I'm really proud of it. It turned out all right. Honestly, I think that's the best that I could ask for. That it turned out all right. It's kind of like those like kids craft projects that they make in daycare that they worked so hard on. They take it home to you and they're just like, "Hey, look at this thing I made." And you're like, "Oh, good job. Okay, let's put." Yeah, this is refrigerator art. That's what this is. This is refrigerator art. And you know what? It's hanging in our hallway. So, I'll take it. I'll take it. It's pretty good. It's not bad. It looks like The Scream. You know what? It looks like The Scream. And I forgot to tell you how long this atrocity took me. You want to guess? You got an idea in your head? Alright, just let it stew in there for a second. This took me 44 hours. This took me 44 hours. 44. No words. I wasted so much time. I don't know if it's sunk in for you yet, so I'm just gonna say it again. 44 hours.